Hi, I'm Tim and this is Timberway Designs. In this series of videos, I take 10 common beach rocks that anybody out there can find and I cut them in half to see what's inside. And then I take a piece of that rock and I'll make a cabochon out of it, and then I'll show it what the cabochon looks like from that particular rock in the next episode. It's not, I'm just not picking these rocks up and chucking them, cutting them and chucking them. I'm actually picking them up with the intent of making cabochons out of them. So even the other half that I show you that the other half of the rock that don't make a cabochon, I am going to make a cabochon out of that as well. And all these will eventually end up on my Etsy page. So let's take a look at the 10 rocks I have selected for this video today. So here are the 10 rocks for this week's cut. We'll start in the left up here. This one here, I think, is a piece of granite. I think all this black stuff here is mica. Yeah, you can kind of see a little, get it wet here. Look at that. Ain't that cool? That's a pattern right there for you. All right, this one here, I know this is a piece of unakite. You know how big of a unakite guy I am. I just can't walk past this stuff for some reason. Got a nice lot of little lines of epidote in there. Got some feldspar showing, so we'll see what that looks like on the inside. This is another pink stone I picked up, and I'm not certain if it's a amygdaloidal or if it's a granite. Cut it and open, we'll probably know more. Man, it's just the color is intense on this. I mean, it looks kind of orangish now, but when I picked it up, it looked pink. Not super pink, but it was in there. We got another piece of gneiss here, and I noticed when I picked it up, it had a lot of yellow coloration in it, and that looks really neat if you can get it into the cabochon. So I'm hoping this yellow penetrates all the way through, and then when we split it, we'll see from that in the finished cab. It's another piece of granite. Got some streaks of mica running through it. You can see color and pattern. That's what I say, color and pattern. So I thought that'll make a nice streaky looking cabochon. And then this one here, I have no idea what this is right now. Just got some bumps on it, if you can see those. I thought it had some color going in there too. See that? Now with it getting wet, I'm kind of leaning towards the epidote, but I do not know what these little knobs are right here. So maybe they're little nodules, and we'll see something on the inside. It'll be interesting. Another piece of granite here. A lot of mica. I thought the color contrast would look pretty cool. Got a good orange going here. And I think that'll make a pretty cabochon. Actually, there's a little green down here too. This, I think, is a piece of chert, and it's got hematite. You can see it shining right there. I think I did a piece of this a couple episodes ago. This might be another chunk I picked up. But I don't know, the other one come out pretty good. I think this one will do the same. It don't look like it has as much hematite in it as the other one did, but I think it'll be enough to make it interesting. I mean, here's another one. I have no idea what it is. I'm thinking epidote and mica, maybe. I don't know. You'll see how green it is when I get it wet. Look at that. So we'll see what it looks like on the inside. And finally, I got this big honking piece here, and I picked it up because I saw these layers on this side. Looks kind of dull, like, I don't know, limestones maybe. It could be a fossilized something, but I just, anytime I see layering like that, I just get interested in it right away. So we're going to cut this open and see what it looks like on the inside. It might surprise us. So there you have it. There's the 10 rocks for episode 18. Working our way up to episode 20 here, so we'll take them downstairs, cut in half, and see what's inside. All right, we're down here on my high-tech 10-inch slab saw, and first thing we're going to do is show you that this blade is not sharp. This is a sintered continuous rim diamond blade. It's got metal with little tiny thousands of tiny diamonds in it, and it is absolutely not sharp. I'm rubbing my hand on it right now, and it don't even cut the glove. So this is not sharp, so don't worry about me cutting my fingers on this. And the other thing I want to point out is when I'm cutting a rock, I speed it up 7 times. So it takes 30 seconds or more to run a rock through this, especially a moderate sized one. So what I'm going to do first is I take this old coarse grinding wheel and I touch it up. What it does is it wears the metal away and exposes fresh diamonds, so we get a better cut. So I just run it through 3 times, that's plenty. So first up, we got this piece of nice here, and I'm going to split it right down the center. All right, let's hope for some yellow. Oh, awesome. Okay, that's what I was kind of hoping for right there. We'll make sure to incorporate that into the cabochon somehow. All right, next up, I got this lumpy rock here, and I'm just going to split it right down the center, just like that. Okay, is this thing full of surprises? Let's look at it. Ooh, that is really cool. Okay. All right, this one here, this piece of granite. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in this way, and I'm going to take a cab off of this end, but I'm going to save a bigger chunk so I can make a bigger cab on this end. Let's see how the lines run through this. Ooh, that's cool. Okay. Alright. Got this other piece of granite. I'm just going to slice it right down the side here, just like that. Alright, let's check out this reveal here. I got a couple extra pieces there. That is some intense orange in that. You got some green down. Okay. Now this one here. Let's see. I'm thinking. Hang on. I'm just going to split it. Alright, let's see if Unikite never disappoints. Oh, quit bumping the camera, Tim. Okay, that's interesting. I think I had a rock last week that looked almost like that. Alright. Great. This one here, I believe, is a piece of chert. Oh, it's got some purple in it, too. And got some hematite. I think I'm going to split it just like that. Alright, see how much hematite we got inside this. Alright, just a little bit. Nice pattern though. Okay. Got this one here. I believe it's another piece of granite, I think. So I'm going to try to take this side off here, and then I'll leave me maybe possibly 1 or 2 more cabs on this side. And I'm going to time it and show you how long it took me to cut this in half, because I timed 7 these cuts here. Care to guess how long this took? 42 seconds. And look at that. There's some pattern in there. Okay. Alright, I'm going to take this big honking guy here. I think what I want to do, I'm going to cut this side off and see what it looks like, and then when I make a cab, I'll probably go in one more and make a slab. Okay, should I have left this one on the beach? Let's find out. Wow. That's interesting. Cool pattern. Okay. Got this one here. I think what I'm going to do, instead of splitting it, because it's fat, I'm going to cut the end off here. Let's see if the pattern's on the inside like the outside. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Got some pitting going on. Okay. Alright. Finally I got this green guy here, and I'm thinking it's epitode, because that's usually the green stone you find up here. So I'm just going to split it right down the middle. Alright, let's see what the final rock for episode 18 looks like on the inside. Wow. Yeah, it's got it going on in there. Alright, I'm going to take these upstairs and we'll cover them a little bit more in depth. Well, I just got back from downstairs in the saw, got ourselves a bag, some really cool looking rocks in here. I'm going to spread them out and we're going to go over them a little more in depth. Okay, here are the rocks from downstairs that we cut in half, and we're going to take a little closer look at them. So we'll start with this one here and get all the crumbs off of it. So this piece of granite, and it kind of broke on me. There must be a fracture or something right about there. But man, this stuff is really pretty. Look at the orange and yellow stuff going on in there. Now, when I make a cab out of it, I got to figure out where it cracked. Looked like it's running right along here. So either I'm going to have to try to peel this off or go on this right-hand side here. But it's not, that's just a chance you take picking up these rocks on the beach. So, I mean, it's not looking too bad. And I think I can do something with this. So there's the first one right there. All right, got this green one here. And now you can see why I picked this up. I just want a little epidote going on in there, I believe. But man, look at the pattern. That is just crazy. There's that's all epidote or whatever the green stuff is. And it's kind of feathering through the whole rock. Just amazing how it does this stuff. But man, that ought to make a cool looking cab. All right, you got this big guy here. Now I don't know if this is limestone or what it is. Got a cool looking pattern. I mean, I ain't gonna be able to do anything with this thin piece here. I'll have to take another chunk off the side, but I don't know. It feels like it's got a really smooth cut on it. So there's that one there. Another piece of granite here with some streaks of mica running through it, or what they call it, hornblende. I thought that looked kind of neat. Now, I cut the end off because I was going to make a cab out of this piece right here. I'll just trim it down to 1/4 inch. And I saved this one here so I can cut it if I want to cut it like this. Then I might be able to incorporate some of this streaking into the cabochon. There's the cut right there. And I don't know. I think that looks pretty cool. And this one here, I thought kind of when it's dry, it kind of looks pink. Let me pick it up here. But to me, it looks like chunks of jasper glued together with something. Right there. The only problem I see is it's full of pits and fractures. You can kind of see them over there. I love the pattern. But whatever this stone is in here, it might be an issue. So I might have to take a couple more slabs off of this and see if I can find a piece that's not full of pits and fractures. All right, this is this weird one here. Don't quite know what this is. Usually anything green where I look for rocks is either epidote or prehnite. So there's the inside. And look at the little globs all over the place. I mean, this is going to make a really awesome cabochon. And it's got some orange in there. I'm thinking feldspar maybe. But I've never seen anything like this up there. I think I got enough to make 2 good looking little cabochons out of it. Check that out. That is just awesome. All right, got this piece of nice here, you know, and I was hoping for some yellow, and I got it. Look at that. And it's kind of chunky too. It's not, you know, it's got some pattern to it instead of just streaks from it. But this, I'll incorporate this into a cab, and that'll look cool. And I got 2 nice good halves to make cabs out of. So I think this is a winner here. So, yeah. That's the outside again. All right, this epidote here, or this unikite, is full of epidote. And I was kind of hoping for some more orange, but it's mostly epidote streaks running through there. It's got a really cool pattern going on in there. Kind of transfers to the outside also. I'll make something really neat out of this. We'll work on that. But yeah, it got a nice smooth cut. I don't see any cracks or fractures or anything in there. So yeah. Now this one here, pretty sure it's a piece of chert. It's got some hematite right there. But it's got a really nice pattern on the inside. And this looks like a crack, but actually it's a healed crack. You know, there's no evidence of it. You know, try to get it in light. Yeah, it's got a little bit, but I think whatever material filled that is what you're seeing there. But I could be wrong. It could fall apart when I'm making a cab out of it. But yeah, it's got a couple chunks of hematite in there. Nice pattern. And yeah, kind of planet looking like that that one I made in 2 episodes ago. So we'll make a cool cab out of this stuff too. Finally, got this other piece of, we'll call it granite. It has got an awesome pattern. This is probably my favorite going into this right here. That is just so cool. Even when I saw it rolling up and down the beach, I said, "Man, I got to pick this one up. It's just got too much pattern going on here." So that'll make a couple nice cabs. Well, probably maybe 3 cabs. I might be able to scalp this one here. Yeah. So I'm kind of excited for next week to see how these rocks turn into cabs. You know, come back. Maybe this isn't granite. This might be a piece of gneiss too. I don't know. Sometimes, because it looks kind of grainy in there. Usually granite does not look grainy. It's got lumpy stuff going on. So if anybody out there thinks they can positively identify this, help me out here, I really appreciate it. Just leave a comment down below, and I read all the comments. So I'll see it. So there you have it. Rocks for episode 18. Now I got the cabochons I made from the rocks from episode 17. I'm going to bring them in, and then I'll show you what I can do with these rocks. So I'm going to shut you off and switch you out, and then we'll talk about them. Okay, we cleared out them wet rocks from episode 18, and now we're going to look at the cabochons I made out of the rocks in episode 17. So this is number 1 rock up here, this piece of granite, and this is number 10, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the order I cut them in. So this was a piece of granite. It had kind of a chunky looking appearance to it, and I was kind of concerned about it, if it would fracture off and crack. But it made a really nice cabochon here with the mixture of the quartz and the mica and whatever else is in there. There's the back. There's the front. There's the original rock, and there's the cabochon I made out of it. Okay. This is the rock that had the pink stuff on it. Actually, I had some green spots in it too. And I'm not really sure what this was. That's kind of leaning towards a migmaloidal, but I don't think it's that. Made a cool looking cabochon. The only problem is it's got some pits in it. Right there, some, and there's some right there. But all in all, I like the color. There's the back. There's the front. Shined up pretty nice. So, and there is both rocks together. This is this piece of feldspar that had the lines running through it. At least that's what I'm going to call it, because it had the feldspar shine to it. And I thought it was pretty interesting when I picked it up. Well, it made an exceptional cabochon. Really good shine. Interesting pattern. I was quite impressed. There's the back. There's the front. There's the two stones together. Now this one here, I thought it was a piece of banded ironstone because I thought I saw the red and the stuff in there, but it was not. I'm pretty sure it's a piece of jasper, and there's the cabochon I made out of it. It's got a little flaw. Fracture up here, but I don't see any evidence of it being an active fracture. I think it's like it's sealed, but it's got a kind of a subtle color change going on in there. Here's the back. Here's the front. Here's the original rock, and here's the cabochon I made out of it. I always like these here with the agate looking spots in it, and this one was no slouch when it came to that. There is a lot of agate looking spots in there, and the cabochon represents that very well. Got a pretty good shine on it. Got a lot of information to look at there, agate pockets and stuff. Here's the back. There's the front. So this came out as a good representative of this rock right here. And there's both of them right there. Okay, this is this sedimentary rock, I called it, because it had the layers going in here. I don't know if the green is epidote or not. It's pretty soft. Could be. I'm not positive. So here is the cabochon I made out of it. Got a really good shine. I was kind of impressed. I thought it was going to be one of them softer rocks. There's the back. Here's the front. So, yeah, I thought it got a little separation going right there, but that's the chances you take with rocks you're picking up off the beach. So there's the original rock, and there's the cabochon. All right, this one here, you know, like I said, a lot of times you'll see minerals on the outside of these migdaloidals, and sometimes they're just on the outside, but this one is in there. And actually, this is basalt, the dark stuff, and this stuff is prehnite because it had copper flecks in it. I can see them here, but I don't know if you can see them there. There's a bunch of copper up on the top here, so I can shine it. Nope. So here is the cabochon I made. Incorporated the prehnite in the middle of it. I think this was pretty sharp. This is probably my favorite one out of the batch right now. Got a little bit of tiny little pits in there, but you won't be able to see those. There's the back. There's the front. Really impressed with this one here. And I'm looking around the camera here. I can't see any copper fleck on the front. And really I can't see any on the back, but it's in there. Yeah. So I thought that one, there's the original, and there's the cabochon I made out of it. So here's a piece of unikite, which I don't know if you just want to call this granite with glued to a piece of epitote here, but I thought the contrast was awesome. You can see why I picked that up. So here is the cabochon I made out of. I made a round one. I don't know how I'm going to put a bail on this. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to put the green up, the pink up, this to the left, this to the right. I don't know. If you guys got any suggestions in the comments below, leave them down there. It's got one little fracture here, but I don't think it's a actual crack. So there's the back. Had a little owie right there, but it didn't transfer through to the front. There's the front. There is the other half of the rock right there. And this one here, I believe, is a chunk of jasper, and it had like a purplish color going to it, and some green stripe there, some yellow up here. The only thing that was killer was it had this fracture going through it, and it went all the way through. So I don't know if it's a healed fracture or not, but it made a really beautiful cabochon. Look at the color on that. Lots of color going on. Really good shine. There's the back. There's the front. Now violet or purple, I don't see that very often when I look for rocks up on the North Shore. So this is kind of exceptional, I would say here. So there's your original rock, and there's the cabochon I made out of it. Finally, I got this amygdaloidal basalt. It had quartz veins running through it. And like I said, I always look for color and texture, and this one had some texture or patterns. And here's the cabochon I made out of it. I come out pretty good. Got a little, the black of the basalt, and then you got the quartz running through there. Yeah. Here's the back. Here's the front. Got a really good shine. Can't keep her in focus there. So it's so shiny it just slips out of my hand. I can't hang on to them. So there's the cabochon, and there's the original rock I made the cabochon out of. So all these cabochons will end up on my Etsy page. Well, I think all of them will, even with the ones with the flaws. You just gotta, if you buy it, like especially this one here, you just got to be aware that it's got some pitting in it. But you know, I don't think you're going to be able to see it if you're wearing it. I don't know. So there you have it, the cabochons from episode 17, from the rocks that I cut in half. I hope you enjoyed the rocks we cut in half here. Got some pretty interesting ones in there. If you can identify some of them, if you're familiar with any of them, give me a shout in the comments, and hopefully we can figure some of them out. I hate just going, I don't know what that rock is. You know, I kind of like to be informative here. I know a lot of them, but I don't know them all. And the cabochons, as usual, awesome. I can't, you know, just to show you that these common rocks can make beautiful cabochons. So I'd like to thank all the viewers out there, and especially the subscribers. You guys just keep this thing pumping right along here. I really appreciate your subscriptions. I like to see it grow, and it just tells me that my content is worthwhile for you folks to watch out there. So if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Just click down below and subscribe. You're in. Slide over, give me a thumbs up if you could. That gets the analytics out there so more people can find this content, and share it, ring the bell, and then there's some kind of hyper something or another. Once I figure that out, I mean, I got viewers, you know, going, this is how you do it, this is how you do it, you know, and I'm just an old guy here, you know, I gotta know a little tech, but not a lot. So next week we'll have more rocks, and I just got back from a trip out in South Dakota, and I brought a lot of really nice prairie agates and jaspers back. So we're gonna be a couple rock cutting sessions with those rocks as well. So stand by for that. There's some really good looking ones in there. So I appreciate you coming back and watching this content, and I hope you guys are getting some information and enjoyment out of watching this. I really appreciate it. So that's all I got, and I'll catch you later.